Excellent. Well, welcome. It's Wednesday, June 25th today. And yeah, it's the happy midweek point. We got the weekly candle here on USDTD. And we just this is a very weird area. I mean, I'll be honest, this is incredibly weird. I'll say that much. But what I do see here is actually quite interesting because what we're doing is we are basically invalidating this monthly range right here. This monthly range, basically between yellow on the monthly candle, we dipped into it. We took 5.25 on USDTD already, so this was taken. We've invalidated it 3 times, and these are all very, very bearish candles, right? Very bearish candles on the monthly, which is bullish for crypto, right? If we can't get over 5.25, if we can't close over this in the next 5 days, this monthly candle is going to open flat and then basically just go straight down because we got so much liquidity down here, and we have an open monthly all the way down at 3.4. So basically, what I'm seeing is we're very slowly changing the tides of where we are now, right? The monthly is showing very bearish. The weekly is kind of rebalancing. It's really weird. It left open ERL both sides, so it's completely rebalanced. The daily, very similar. But what's interesting on the daily is that if we continue to consolidate and just keep ranging, if again, it's the same thing, right? We have 5 days left. If we can't close above 5%, if we can't get above 5% in the next 5 days, which is already, probability of that is actually quite low, right? Because there's already one candle here. We got like 1, 2, 3, 4. We can't even close above it. Then what's going to happen is it's going to reject, and then it's going to keep ranging down eventually until the range down just like basically pops it back down to 3.1. So how I'm playing this is typical, just very slow accumulation, where we try and maintain a good level of margin ratio, but then we accumulate very strong alts over time. Because shorting here, in my mind, the RR is just not good. You're only going to see, small moves like this, right? You're going to see probably like 10, maybe like a 4 or 5% move here and there, right? I care more for the bigger moves. So again, I'm looking for, and we already have 3 drives up. We have 1, 2, 3. So this completed its impulse already, right? So if you're an Elliott wave analyst, right, you look from the base of the impulse. We have base of impulse here. Actually, this would be 1. This would be I'm sorry. This would be the 1 right here. Yep. This would be the 1 right here. 2, 3, possibly 4 up to here. But really, after that point, this next one, we could go up a little bit more, but really at that point, we're already reset state. Like this has already been invalidated. So I actually still see pretty much just a re-range, a reconsolidation here. So let's look at Bitcoin dominance, others.d as well. We have, if let's just take a quick zoom out here. This is the weekly. We have a weekly SMR in this range. We have not closed below it. Now, this box here, everywhere where I'm about to circle, right? This box here is the box that marks the high time frame altcoin bottom, right? If we want to see an altcoin run, we need to reject in this box. And as you can see, we're already way, way, way high up here. We're near the edge. We're very near the edge right here. So there's really only one spot left in my mind. There's really only one spot left where we can sweep, which is really just upwards at the 66. But we've already swept this weekly. Like, see this orange? We tapped it already. So the weekly already confirmed this. Now all we need to do is range from where we are now, right? If we can range from where we are now and hold this range, then we're going to end up re-ranging and making a closure underneath 6.5, and that would basically bring us back down into previous ranges down here. As you could see, history does like repeating itself, as people like to say. History repeats itself, right? So if we were to just take the exact same bar pattern of this push, right, this push up here, and then apply it here, could probably see something like that again, right? Where we just basically push up, we probably maybe take the high one more time, and then a very quick rejection to the lows. Awesome. So that's those. I'm looking for basically something to continue here, right? This range to continue, history to repeat itself, and then us to basically sweep but make a closure below 65.4% on the weekly. So we have about like roughly 1 or 2 weeks left. This weekly candle is already becoming a doji, right? It's already becoming indecisive. So if we can even just close this week out where we are now, that's already going to be bearish, right? Because then we'll have next week, we'll end up pumping down to this IRL down here at 65, which will bring us back into this weekly range, right? So we can continue. So we are very, very, very close here. Awesome, cool. So let's take a look at Bitcoin. Now, with Bitcoin dominance at its high as well, and it's Bitcoin also approaching its all-time high, the biggest thing that I see here is this monthly. This monthly candle showed 3 drives up. So classic ICT traders might look at this and say, okay, we already confirmed that this is the all-time high. We're not going to get higher. But if you zoom in and you go to the daily, these order blocks here are not SMRs. These are effectively bearish, the undefended bearish levels where order blocks have flats, right? This orange, these are relative equal highs. There's double, 2 of them right lined up next to each other, right? These 2 yellow lines right here, that's a incredibly high concentration of liquidity, incredibly high. And there's no SMR here at all on the showing a bearish reversal. So even though the high time frame does show us that we're topping out, the lower time frame on the daily, so lower, conceptually the lower time frame on the daily shows us that we are almost at the high, right? So my idea here is to look for this pop of liquidity. This liquidity level here needs to be popped, right? All the people who have stop losses there, they need to be taken out. And then there's basically going to be no more liquidity left besides just the one all-time high. So what I'm doing is I set some limits already. I'm going to probably tweak them, but I basically set some limits for the all-time high with the goal that we do see the sweep. We see the sweep, but we see a consolidation, and any daily closure under 111 would mean that we're now basically there's no more liquidity left to take besides just the shorts that entered here, and there is both a weekly open. Actually, this weekly was tapped, but there's a weekly open down here that's never been tapped. Right? This would be an AMD, even if we swept this high and then came back down again. This would not be bullish. Bitcoin would not be bullish until we're back down below 90. Right? Because then we would confirm this range is the AMD for the new all-time high again. So I'm still not going to long here. This is a terrible spot to long. But what I would say is I'm going to be doing a head short swing all the way back down under 90 and then start taking profits under 90. Once we start taking profits under 90, then if this SMR plays out right here, this is a true weekly right there, and this holds its range at 90, then Bitcoin will see an all-time high, a real all-time high, a better one, right? A new range after we sweep 890, and then we'd end up going to the standard deviation extensions from this range, which is roughly like, oops, I'm going to move this over, right? The real all-time high will bring us back to probably the -1 or the -2. So basically 180 to 200 or 150, right? But we're not going to get there. We're not getting there until this happens, until we sweep 90K first. So we need to sweep all this liquidity first to build enough liquidity to push us into a higher range. Oh, I'm going to delete the lat. There we go. Beautiful. Cool. I think that was that one. Cool. Okay, so with that said, drop me any coins you're looking at. I will take a look at them. I'm happy to explain any of my thought processes for any of my setups as well. But yeah, please drop your coins in and I'll go through them. Okay, so Ethereum BTC, that's a good one actually. I'll do that one. Okay, Gabriel's trying to troll me with stuff. I'm just gonna ignore him. um, so with Ethereum BTC, we're at a really cool spot actually. Everyone has been so bearish on this, so bearish, but this built out such much smooth liquidity all the way down, all the way down. All of this is ERL to be taken, right? Every single one of these, huge on the monthly and the weekly, right? Now yellow is our range low, right? We have a range low that's supported. We have two taps. We have a deviation right here. This is already a confirmed SMR deviation. We are retesting it right now. So we already swept this low at orange, which is actually kind of interesting because if we then can hold orange and then mount yellow on the daily, what'll end up happening is price will then start to rebalance higher. It will show bearish on the low time frame where you'll see wicks to the high, but then the closures will actually be higher closures on the daily ranges. So every single time we sweep a new low, we're going to end up pushing slightly higher, rearranging slightly higher until we just get into a higher range above 0.2 and we confirm this yellow, right? We confirm this yellow and then eventually we just basically pop, right? We just go for a run. So effectively what I would see here is something around the lines of a push into July, right? We're already. I drew this out a little while ago. We're already here. So blue is what I would expect to push up. Is to happen. Basically, we push up a little bit, or if we hold this range and then make these closures up, we don't necessarily need to sweep this because really what we could do is we could just do this and then make closures here and then basically just keep going, right? So if you keep that in mind, right, we're at a weird spot with regards to the weekly closure, but we want to see this range build out because if we can hold this range instead, then we're not going to see any lower, right? So that's one thing to note as well. And then let's look at virtuals. That's another request. So virtual, let's take a look at this one. I'm going to put on the weekly first. I haven't looked at this for forever. This is actually really weird, but I would say we are pretty close to being bullish on it. Very close. Not quite yet. Not quite yet. We have that range low there. So really what I would see here is something like where we push up and then sweep down a little bit more before we bounce again. Its range is a little wider than others. So I would probably wait on this one until we at least tap under. I want to see basically under $1.25, right? And then I would look at it for a long. Otherwise, I wouldn't short it here. It's a really weird spot to short because in terms of anchoring your stop, it could go all the way up to here and then bounce back down, right? So in terms of the location of this range, it's actually quite balanced because if you notice, right here, I'll draw this up. Oops, I'll draw this up for you guys. We have both a range high and a range low on the daily open, right? This one, both are open. There's no market structure break at all. This is already broken to the downside, right? The short played out, so now it's just rebalancing. So if we can rebalance and sweep one more time to the low, then I would say that would be great. We'll do that. Otherwise, I'm gonna just I wouldn't do anything here yet. Let's see. Oh, virtuals. Oh, sorry, I didn't virtuals. There's no virtuals. I don't see that one. I thought you meant virtual. Okay. Yeah, I'll keep going. Melania, I have someone asking about Melania. This one's a good meme coin. Now I say good because really, you know, it can be only shorted for so long. Because zero is all the way down here, right? I thought there was an SMR. There was not. We don't have one quite yet. But what's interesting though is that it looks like we're about to build one on this daily. We're very, very close. Very, very close. Honestly though, guys, like this is one of those things that, oh yeah, this is right here, right? We have a one weekly. So we want to break this really right here. So I would want to see something like this broken, and then some sort of range after that, right? But we're very close to breaking that range and then re-ranging from there. So I would definitely look at Melania as well. This is going to be a pretty good runner. I'll say that much because its range is so wide. If you look at this chart, a minute, right? Its range is so wide, and it's never seen a second impulse, right? This is the, if we happen to confirm that all-time low and we do see a altcoin run, this is going to run as well. So yeah, let's keep that on watch as well. What else we got? XCH. Oh yeah. I'll keep going in on XCH. This one I spoke to you guys about before. The main thing here is the monthly and the weekly equal lows at $11 to $12. Basically, there's no more liquidity left in this range beyond maybe just like right under 8.89, which I think it might have been taken already. Let's take a look at that real quick. No, it hasn't, but it could be a higher low. So at this point, we already have a daily. We're dipping into this inversion right now. I would expect something like this to happen, right? Where we basically, this is already an SMR right here. This is an SMR. This is actually a true SMR. We do have a higher low. So really, this is bottomed out, right? This is also bottomed out. I'm in this as well. I'd want to see one of two things happen. I'd want to see a small sweep to like 9 and then a reconsolidation back above. But what's interesting is the next time we push to 11, it's going to break 11. It's going to flip it. What's going to happen is it's going to break 11. It's going to flip it, meaning the amount of liquidity to push this past 11 is going to be so high. The next impulse is going to take us past 20. And then we're going to break and remount 20 and confirm that as the all-time low, right? All-time low down there. Same thing on XCH. Same thing on the $11 mark. And then we're going to bring it to all-time high from there, right? Because we're going to be confirming that deviation, and then it's going to have its third drive to its all-time high. So this one, another really good one. I am in pretty heavily. I will keep adding to it. Incredibly strong coin. Basically bottomed out, and there's absolutely no reason anyone should be shorting this one right now. So I will keep adding to my long. So hopefully you guys are in this with me too. It's going to be a long one, long by long. I mean, it's a long hold, but it is going to pay amazingly. So Casper as well. Let's take a look at that one. Casper, also very high on my list. I'm playing this one very, very, very slowly. What's interesting is we have a monthly open on the a monthly deviation here, right? Where we had an accumulation range way back in 2023 to 2024, and now this could be considered the manipulation range. And if this is the monthly manipulation range, then our standard deviations actually lead us all the way up past 20 to 40 cents, right? Because the extension here will bring us to at least 10 cents, and then it will basically remount 10 cents and then keep going, right, on the high time frame over the course of the next few years. But for now, what I'm looking at is this range on the daily and the 8 hour. So on the daily and the 8 hour, we actually did have a market structure break already. We made a higher high. So this is very clean already. We're looking good. We have a true SMR here. We have 3 drives on the 8 hour and the daily. This is an amazing structure right now. Absolutely amazing. What I want to see here is teal. I want to see teal. I want to see some consolidation. I want to see a break under 0.111. Consolidation under 111. and then some closures back above. When we get closures back above, that'll be the confirmation that the monthly and the weekly extension is going to bring us back into a new range of roughly 2 cents, right? Somewhere up here. So that'll be the range when we do take that from there. So Casper, I am just going to play with alerts for my own alerts, right? And I'll alert it to you guys when I enter. But for now, it's gonna take its time a little bit. But it's building up liquidity, guys. This is it. We got 3 drives. We got this checks every single box. We got 3 drives. We got an AMD. We got change of structure. We got a market structure break, and we're confirming this is also a monthly order block right here. We're bouncing on. So Casper is stupid bullish here. Stupid bullish. And you'd be stupid to short it, to be quite honest. So hopefully you're going to take this along with me. So let's see what's next. Move. Let's do some move. Let's do move, swap, crypto. Yes, beautiful. Move has bottomed, actually. This is a good one. Hari, good find, because we already did see 3 drives here. We have an SMR, we have change of structure. We already broke into a new range. We have an equal high right up here. We did not take it, which is even amazing, even more amazing. So on the 8-hour, we're looking really nice. I wouldn't take anything quite yet because it's already in its extension. This is the 3rd drive up. I'd wait till this resets, right? State reset. We either go up a little further and then break back down. But really what I want to see is some more range here. We have bottom though. I would say at this point, I don't see us going past 11 cents on move here. So let's stay patient on that one. I'll keep this on. I think I have an alert here. I'll put my alert a little higher, maybe up here for now. But I want to see a range on move, and then from there with move, you can just go the extensions, the daily and the weekly, right? If that's the all-time low, then what we would see here is something very similar. Right? We break and retest, we retest the 38, and then we basically just keep breaking, retesting each range, right? On the weekly. So very, very clean structure as well. Also pretty keeping this on watch as well. Move going to be a big mover. Big mover. So let's see, we'll do, I did Casper already, and then we'll do Punk. So let's do Say real quick. So for Say, we got 1 draw up here, which I think it already did, there is about to tap. And then we have 1 range from the monthly here. So let's just pull those out, and let's go from there. So Say does look nice. Probably gonna go for a range here. This is actually a pretty good SMR already. We got 1, 2, 3 drives on the high, on the low. Daily, that one's defended. Entry here is a little weird. It's a little weird. I wouldn't do anything quite yet because we're still in the middle of this extension, but really I could see something like either we rebalance and then keep going. But really the main thing that I see with Say is we're going to break into the range above 50 cents. And then I'd be more interested in looking for either a short once we get to 50 cents and then basically a retest before we continue to the new highs. So its range is expanding. It definitely is expanding, but I probably think we have one more range high to make before we see a new all-time high on this, right? If you want to do something like this, right, you could probably just be like, go up to the highs, range low, and then bounce. Oh, yeah, that's a probably better one, right? Something like that would be nicer. I want to see a re-range, break of the high, and then a rate of the low, and then we'll see a new all-time high after that. However, one of the things interesting though is if we do consolidate and then flip 36. What'll end up happening is we'll actually just break sooner. So Say is pretty good. Say is pretty good. I will say that much, right? Because of its range, it is pretty good. If we are unable to make a lower low from here, then that would be a nice range to do. But for now, I probably wouldn't take a long on it just yet. Personally, it's a little, you wouldn't anchor your stop until like down here. So yeah. AVAX, buying the dips down to 14. I know you're going to keep mentioning AVAX. So same thing with AVAX here. The draw is still 30. I think we're still going to, I mean, this is a relative equal low right here. So a higher low, possibly. Um, Really, this is where the weekly closure comes into play, right? This weekly closure needs to stay where it is. If we can consolidate right here and we're above $17 this week, it only has 4 days left, right? This candle, it's actually pretty close. Only has 4 days left on this. If we can close this above white, then what ends up happening is we'll just keep ranging up to 30 before we see the rejection down to 10. So same thing here. As well. So long AVAX to 30. I'm actually not long AVAX, but because its structure is just too iffy here. But I am leaning closer towards seeing this high rated and then a new low at like 10 as a deviation before seeing it go to a new all-time high. So that's just my personal take on this. But personally, I'm not really trading AVAX too much anyway. So hopefully that answers your question. ARC-M, I'll do ARC-M, and then we'll do anything else if you guys have questions. ARC-M. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I do like this struck. This is actually looking pretty good. Good find, Harry. Good find. We got monthly. We swept almost all of those monthlies. And then we have one IRL open on that. And then weekly closure, same thing here, right? Same thing. Yeah, same thing here. So we have open flat 1 day right here. We're inverting this right now. So same thing. We have 3 days left, 4 days left to close under white. If we close under white, this will be bearish. But we have 3 days left to do that. So probability wise, I would say quite low. But if we go and retest right on this range, then I would say this would be where we want to look for a bounce, something like this, retest, range, and then tap the highs and then continue, right? Something like that. Oops, wow, that just did not work at all. Something like this, right? Tap, range, retest the high, and then re-range to the highs after that, right? Something like that. And then the same thing here is I would look for this high to be tapped at 1.2 before another re-range as well, and then a continuation. So something like that would be what I look for in ARC-M. Hopefully that answers. Yeah, it's one of your high conviction play. Nice, Harry. I love it. This is great. No, this is a great find. As I said, the probability is in your favor because the daily here has only 3 days left, right? If it doesn't close, if it closes like anywhere above orange, right? Anywhere above orange in the next 3 days, and the weekly stays above orange, then you're going to see some pretty good pumps on this, right? On ARC-M as well. So it'll be a good one. Good find. Awesome, cool. So any other coins? I think Punk. Oh, I didn't do Punk. I'll do Punk too. Yeah, let's do Punk and then go from there. So Punk. Actually, this one didn't push the highs first, so I'm going to delete that. But it's still valid because we did break above the 7.9 fib, right? Where we flipped it. Since all of these charts look exactly the same to me, right? It's the exact same thing. We have 3 days left to close below. Basically, like, if we can't close below yellow, right? Anywhere below yellow or orange, yeah, yellow. I'll make it yellow, right? We have 3 days left to close below yellow. If we cannot close below yellow, then we are going to be bullish. We're going to go like this. We're going to sweep these lows. We're going to consolidate, and then we're just going to push the highs, right? Like that. So every single chart is looking the same here. It's exactly the same. We're in accumulation mode for the rest of the week, roughly, because we have those 3 days left. And then this weekly closure will determine whether or not we're bullish or bearish for next week, right? I'm weighing the probabilities here. Probability is that next week is bullish because of this consolidation. because this sweep here is going to end up just being a sweep into the long bias, right? Sweep into the long bias and then continue, right? I think I put a limit down here actually as well. I have a limit on Punk down at 103.22, and same thing expecting to happen, right? Because as soon as we start breaking and mounting this range, it's going to confirm the high time frame OTE here, and we're going to go like this, right? We're going to go to the highs, we go to the highs, bounce again, keep going, and then it's going to keep going because this one is what confirms the flip. As soon as it starts closing above here and this yellow, that's when it's basically going to go straight up, right? Straight up to like, 40 cents roughly, or it'll probably go like this, right? Like that, something like that roughly. So this is basically buy mode, right? Buy mode. That's what I say. Just buy mode. Right? Turn everything to buy mode, right? Turn all your buttons to buy mode, and then stay like that for the next week and a half, and you're gonna do great. Don't worry. Yeah, cool. That's it. That's it for this. Any other coins you guys have interested? STRK and Crate. I'm gonna do STRK, and then I gotta run. Same thing here, same exact thing. Jupe, I'll do Jupe too, I guess. Same exact thing. We drove to the lows, and right, we have 3 days left to close above yellow, right? Even if it raids yellow, and bounces, this is still bullish here. We have these equal lows, which is a little strange to me. So I'm a tiny bit concerned here, just a tiny bit. If we don't bounce, right? If we don't take this bounce this week, then we could do something like this. But I'm going to hold it either way because STRK is also very, it's a very high confluence play as well because of its structure on the high time frame. We did break into a range here on the daily and the weekly. I'm like super confused because when I originally took this, we broke into this range high on the weekly. We respected this OTE range, but then we just dumped right past it. So I think what's going on here is market makers are really just trying to mess with everyone. I'm going to just, this is a conviction play as well. This is like one of those, like, I refuse to take a loss on this one because of how bullish this is as a coin too, right? It's a bullish coin. We also have weekly IRL open all the way up here, because as soon as this week closes, right, above yellow, it could just go like that. Same thing, right? Because it's going to go ERL, IRL. This is yellow right there. It's already above yellow on the weekly. So we just have a few more days left of some consolidation, and then we get some big pumping. So let's see, let's do Jupe. Jupe broke below its low. I am a little concerned here, I would say, and this is a very incredibly bearish SMR down here. I'm going to say right here on this weekly. Look at that. Quadruple highs, and same thing here. If we can't clear, it's going to probably do the same thing of a bounce, but the problem is this range is a little tighter. What's going to happen here is we're going to go like this. We're going to go up, and then we could just go straight down to a new all-time low again. So because of this range, I don't like the weekly here quite yet. So Jupe I'm a little bearish on this one, but yeah. Fetch, and then I got to run. This is outdated. Oh yeah, Fetch pretty bullish here. We have 3 drives. Oh wow, yeah, pretty bullish. Look at that. 3 drives there. Broke into range. We have a market structure break. Right there. This would be nice actually. Fetch is bullish here, yeah. So same thing daily, right? We could see some sort of consolidation here. I would want to see something like this where we dip into it a little bit more, and then the next push up here we break into that range before we bounce into there, right? So something like that would be what I'd look for. Pretty bullish here still on Fetch. Awesome. Cool. Well, that's it for me. I got to run, but hopefully this was insightful. and my DMs are always open. And yeah, I'll post this recording later as well. So happy Wednesday and stay green, everyone.